All right, welcome to Club Astro. And
Yes.
we've got our favorite dude from the future. It is
Listen.
Rionn
Rionn.
Rionn de Ruin. There he is.
Yes, sir. What's up, ladies and gents? How you guys doing out there? Big what up to all of our big Texas family.
There you go. And all your Leo rising splendor.
I am a Libra rising.
Oh, Libra.
I'm a Libra.
David told me Leo rising. I don't know why.
I'm a Pisces.
Pisces. I heard that part. I got that part. Right.
This lunar eclipse is fantastic. Let me tell you about it, Robert.
How did it hit? I'm curious. How did it hit you?
Okay, so here's the deal. Yesterday, I don't know if you guys ever done this before, but almost like you stay so busy. Yesterday was such a huge day for me. People are ordering pyramids and to put over their beds and their homes and ascension centers. So basically, after I went live yesterday, I just kind of dove into my work, and I worked literally right after that broadcast. I worked 5 hours straight, and then when me and my brother went to the gym, steamed, and then worked out, and then I grabbed dinner afterwards. I basically just stayed super busy. And then today was very interesting. I woke up at 6:06 a.m., was up for about 3.5, 4 hours, and I worked in the morning, and then I knocked out and slept till about 48 minutes ago. So I already feel like, I guess these energies, you don't know when you're going to work or when you're going to sleep. You really got to listen to your body. And if you are trying to do, stay ahead of the curve, get your work done, whatever that may be, go to the gym. It is the weekend, right? But you really got to listen to your body. If your body tells you to lay down and take a 4-hour nap, go ahead and do that, is what I'm trying to say. Don't resist the energies. Does that make sense? All I can say is, drink your water. Take your NAC, your NAD, echinacea golden seal, high potency, vitamin C, rose tips, and make sure you're detoxing stuff and just pay attention. Try not to eat a bunch of dense food tonight. Don't go eat a steak tonight. Try to keep your energy as clean as possible with whatever you're choosing to eat right now. If you're watching my face and you haven't eaten yet, for all those people in Australia, right in the middle of it right now, it's popping off right now. I love you. And that's all I can say is just try to be really nice to your vessel right now. And you guys are going to coast through it. I literally have my sage burning, my South Dakota Native American sage burning right next to me, even as I do this.
Cool, man.
Here's the thing, here's the deal, Robert. Some of us have already gone through these types of, we get a lunar solar eclipse all the time, right? It happens quite a bit. More so now, I should say. But we were a part of that Bastrop and in Austin when in Texas, out in your territory, where made the X. We did the solar activation. Team Light did. We were out there. So I feel like a lot of us cleared and did a lot of stuff during that time point. But so what I'm trying to say is I'm not unprocessed data, right? If you have some people that are just waking up, starting to feel what these energies are, maybe for the first time in their lives, to pay attention to, really just try to stay positive. Don't try to numb yourself just because you think you can drink a 6-pack, pop a Xanax, or drink a bottle of red wine and you're going to coast through this thing. The point is that the universe and the energies are trying to show you what in your life needs to be cleaned up and removed. And for everyone out there doing their full moon ceremonies, to remember that you clear on a full moon, you manifest on a new moon. So do not try to be manifesting on a full moon that is opposite you clear on a full moon, which is what's going on right now tonight. So,
well, I guess I shouldn't have taken that acid then.
don't take the LSD. Don't do that unless you want to meet the elves.
It's
The
too
elves
late.
will be there.
It's too late now, man.
The space elves are coming to visit you now, Robert.
Yeah. I haven't done that, but
No, I'm just kidding.
I would, I wouldn't be opposed to microdosing on a show one of these days.
Hey, it's just
I'd be open to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, listen, we were Kerrville, Texas, was the heart of both of those eclipses in October and in April. And as as you know, we had a massive flood here. And so this flood was biblical in its proportion. It was like Noah-like, and that was happening on that eclipse that night. It was really just before the moon went into Scorpio that morning, 5:30 in the morning, dark Scorpio moon. That moon was going through the nodes of the eclipses.
Funny,
just before the flood. And it's like, oh, look at that! Look at where the moon is. And here's the other thing, Ryan, is that at roughly around 5:15, which is when the water was started to reach peak level, you do the chart for Kerrville. The rising sign is Cancer. Sirius is on the ascendant. The sun is on the ascendant, and Jupiter is not far off of the ascendant. All in Cancer. Right. Just think of the water. Like, that is the time of the highest point of the water. And in Egypt, before they made the Aswan Dam, the Nile would flood during this time of year. Right. And it's because of Hackable Sirius rising. Right. And what the Egyptians would do is they would plant their rice. Right. And in anticipation of the rising of Sirius and the Nile. Right. And so, of course, that changed after they built the Aswan Dam. But it's the same conditions. You add them all together at about 5:15, all that water had to go someplace. Right. It was astrological water, but it was, right on the ascendant of here, Kerrville at that time. Plus, you bring the eclipse in, and there's so much heavy energy. Even the city of Kerrville. I mean, you probably can dig this, relate to this astrologically. City of Kerrville is Aquarius.
Oh wow, okay.
Right, and it's Aquarius, and so Pluto is conjuncting not only the sun of Kerrville, but also Kerrville is Chiron in Aquarius. And so Pluto was conjuncting both of those. And what is Aquarius? It's the water bearer. Right. So when you see Aquarius, you see that cistern overturned and the contents come down from heaven. So Kerrville was primed for this event astrologically on so many levels. And even if you look at the chart of Kerrville when they founded the city, where are the nodes? They're in the Aries Libra, right? Which is where the eclipses were. So Kerrville literally has the true node in Aries, south node in Libra. And then there was a major flood here in 1987. Okay. And the nodes were in the same place, Aries, Libra, which is where the eclipse was. So everything, it's like the astromath was just adding up, just the receipts were there.
You know what I think, with that, and obviously, I think that different agencies and whatnot on the planet follow the natural alignments and timings of certain things, and they try to piggyback on certain natural phenomenon and events and alignments. And I think it's been going on for quite some time.
I totally agree with you with this.
Yeah. So what they'll do is they'll go, hey, what he's saying is 100% accurate. What they're not saying is that they started cloud seeding, because we were there. There was so much, just to be clear, the eclipse is popping off. I got 300 people at the convention center outside Austin. Yeah. We're looking up at the clouds for the eclipse, and there was 3 layers deep of cloud cover that was artificial. So one cloud bank could go across the sun, then another 3 layers deep. So that cloud seeding or whatever they were doing to modify
that weather, so to be clear, that kid who was doing that. That was far south of Kerrville.
Right.
So that I abscond him of any responsibility.
Oh,
However,
no, but I'm just trying to say over the location where the X was.
Dane Wigington, though,
Yeah.
did come out and say that they were using these very small HARP systems, right, to keep the weather front from not going anywhere. Now that was happening.
Listen, stop playing with the weather if it's flooding. I don't know how obvious that is.
Well, that's what they wanted, right?
I know that's what I'm saying. The whole thing. My thing is that from a spiritual, energetic thing, I felt like they were trying to block some of the activation and DNA codes coming from the sun. People are talking about,
that's true. Yeah.
People are talking about weather. I don't really give a shit. I was trying to get my DNA upgrade codes, my ascension codes from that solar eclipse. And that's where everyone were at. We weren't really concerned at all. We weren't there for the weather. We were there for that astrological alignment that won't happen in Texas ever again for like 800 years. Like you're not that X that happened in Texas. I mean, Palmer said it might have been even be more than 800 years. It was like crazy. This will not happen again this space.
We were there for it. It's just
and I was there. So I mean, it's cool because when you're talking about it, I remember checking out of the Airbnbs the next morning and the hail started. You know what I mean? And everyone's like, we got to get out of here. Like it's going to go off. Like you could feel the weather and everything about to come down in that area. So,
for people that weren't here during the April eclipse, it was supernatural. I mean, I've never experienced, and I've been through a couple of eclipses but this was something else, man.
It was like time stopped, dude.
Yeah.
There was something. We're walking around and the reflection of the moon was like on all the leaves in the backyard, and it made like half little crescent moon shadows over everything. And there was something like and everyone was locked in like the same zone. Like everyone was experiencing the same reality. You know, everyone has their own different belief systems and their own lenses. In that like moment, everyone was vibing and feeling exactly the same thing. We were all in it together, you know?
The sun that was the one that really popped my third eye was it was the October eclipse in 23.
Okay.
Not the April eclipse. The April eclipse was the October eclipse, which was the annular, it has the ring of fire around it, right?
Yep. Yeah,
I saw so many things with the sun. It was freaking insane. First of all, I saw two suns.
Yep.
I saw two suns, and then I saw something going on with the sun that I can't even really begin to articulate. Like it was doing things. It was like changing. It was morphing. There was all this like incredible. It was like this wild light show going on inside the sun itself. It wasn't dark. Like it was not dark.
No. It was almost like it opened your mind up to almost like the world engine, or like you begin to see the sun in a different light and actually go like, what's going on? There's a lot more going on here. It's almost like you basically probably see a portion of the simulation. You know what I mean? You're witnessing something that is larger than your brain can even comprehend. It's like you're seeing something on a massive scale. So.
It was really interesting. You bring up a really good point. It was like occultation. We were able to see something that we don't normally see.
Yep.
So for me, last night, just to bring it into the present, the Pisces lunar eclipse, I had a really great connection with my son, who is a Pisces, and he's just started bartending in Fayetteville, and he shot me this cocktail that he got put on the restaurant, and it was this apple cocktail. And I'm like, and he told me what the ingredients were. I'm like, what? You made that? And it was like, you're an alchemist here. And I put it up on YouTube and Twitter. And people loved it, right? They were like, all over is this cocktail that he made, and it was a really cool moment, right? Because he's a Pisces, and when he was young, I used to take him to Let me bring it up here. I used to take him to all these different restaurants when he was a kid. We used to watch Anthony Bourdain, and he's a Cancer rising. So he started off as a marketing major, and he said, "Fuck it, I'm really into food." And
Hey,
you
hey,
know,
man. Hey, follow your passion out there, ladies and gentlemen. Like, wherever your creative path lies, whatever gets you up in the morning, whatever you're excited about, that's really what you should be doing. So
let me see. I got to stop this here, but I want to bring it up because it's a. I'm proud of his. I'm a proud father with his new cocktail.
that's fire. So, I mean, oh, there you go.
Look at that. Look at
That's an
that.
original. Hey,
Look at that.
fantastic.
Yeah, this is Apple.
All right.
This is an
all right.
and so this is like an apple crisp kind of
Nice.
cocktail thing he had going on there. And
Hey,
so I was
yeah.
able to put it on Twitter, and he got so much love for it. So for me, that was really the highlight of the Pisces eclipse with my Pisces sun. There you go.
Hey, well, congratulations, Pisces son. Me being a Pisces myself, I got to be honest with you, Robert. As soon as it always happens about 2 or 3 months before we have a lunar or solar eclipse, before it kind of hits the collective or the mainstream. Like, oh shit, we got a lunar eclipse inbound. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as soon as it said Pisces, bro, I was like, come on. Like, I was so like, any other sign, because when you're a Pisces, you go through these eclipses when it's in your sign, it does
Right.
affect you more. You know what I mean? You could run from it all you want, but it really does affect you more. Our comments are blowing up, by the way. We're live on all platforms right now.
I know. Somebody's
going nuts.
Somebody's saying don't rely on your star sign. It's not really who you are.
There we go. And you know what, Robert? I wanted to really talk to you.
I agree with that, and I disagree with it at the same time.
Here's my thing, bro. Can we bring back a Fiacus?
And you brought that up last time.
Hey, here, you know what I want to say too? Guess what the big secret was that my partner shared with me? Guess what constellation or what planet a Fiacus represents?
Something we haven't encountered.
Earth. That's our constellation they removed. A Fiacus ether is ours.
Okay,
so,
I got. Okay,
you got to do a deep dive into this, and as soon as I heard that, I got so lit. So I was like, let me get this straight. In all of the Bibles from 1796, it shows 13 months, 28 days, full moon, new moon, completely synced out. And all the old King James Bible, 1796, it changed it around early 1800s. Then they show all the elements, right? So you got earth, water, air, fire, ether was the fifth element.
I'm with you. I disagree.
We got to bring this back, dude.
I'm with you. I disagree about the Earth part. I think.
Okay, but here's the thing. I get you with that, but
the Earth is ruled by Taurus. Taurus. We're a Taurus. This is a Taurus world.
Okay, but here's the thing about
Libra. Venus can have Libra. They can have Libra, right? Earth is Taurus. It is fundamental. We incarnate.
Here's the question, though.
We incarnate into Taurus.
Okay, here's my thing about that.
Yeah.
I get the old, when you say that to me, because I'm not an astrologer, what I visualize, oh, you mean like in Egypt 2,000 years ago, like, people praying to the ram and the bulls. And during that, that rotation of time, that was the main constellation in the sky. Mm-hmm. So I get that, but I'm not really sure how this particular game works, but I know that, what are we in right now? Aren't we in Aquarius? How we rotate?
Well, we are. If we want to talk about Pluto and Aquarius, again, it's going to be a conversation. Some people say yes, some people say no. It's very subjective, but for now, we'll say yes. Okay,
I'm just trying to be real. There's a cover up on this planet with Tartaria, and I know you wanted to talk about that.
We definitely need to go there.
And I'm trying to. I know you brought that up before we went live, and I was like, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, removing a Fiacus, which was that deity or that deal of the 13th constellation of the actual balance of 13 months, and the fact that it's in the original, if you guys don't believe me, Google it right now, King James Bible 1796. There's people that have the books that prove that in the Bible, they had the 13 months, 28 days every single month. It works out perfectly. Full moon, new moon, everything is balanced. So
No
I
doubt.
just
No doubt. I mean, I get it. I get it.
so there's some
I
and
get it. But if you use that system, right?
bro, I work with ether. I
If
don't think
you,
I'm not. You know what I mean? I get
no,
what you're
I'm just
saying.
talking. I'm just talking about it astrologically. Let's just keep it in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
astrological realm, all right? Because that's my bailiwick, right? But
yeah, yeah,
if you use that system,
yeah. Mhm.
it changes everything from Placidus to Sidereal. And we were just talking about using these astrological events and then
Right.
piling up on
And
it.
the whole thing is
If you look at 9/11,
okay.
9/11 has Saturn in Gemini. Okay,
Mhm.
like what are we talking about? 9/11. We're talking about the twin fucking towers. What's Gemini?
Yeah, yeah.
The
Right.
twins, right? So what's the opposite sign of Gemini at that time? It's Pluto and Sagittarius. What do? We start a holy war, right? We go
Mhm.
abroad, it's all anti-Muslim, right? Pluto and Sag has these
Mhm.
religious overtones. The moon that day is in Gemini. But if you put
Mhm.
Saturn in Taurus, 9/11 doesn't work astrologically, right?
Okay, I got what you're saying, but let's also talk about when you think this takeover of our calendar system and these Illuminati type families really took place. What if these guys? This is the conversation I kind of feel when I kind of tap into some of these jackasses.
Yeah,
There's something in me when I astral jump or go into the vaults or I'm like walking around. And
yeah.
it's almost like I walk up to this like group of beings that think they run shit on this planet. Because I'm not from here, dude. I gotta be honest with you. Like I'm literally a traveler. I
Right.
incarnated here to assist, just like many of the people in the comments.
Yeah.
And I keep hearing this. Like, what would they tell a new initiate into this highest level of the 150 people that apparently run the planet? There's something in that room where they go, we've been a part of 3 resets. This is how it works.
Yeah.
And like, there's
Yeah.
something in me. It's
Totally.
like every
Yeah.
200 years, this is what we do. This is not our first rodeo. And
Yeah.
it's almost like, like in the Matrix,
Yeah.
when the Neo finally gets to the controlling guy and he goes, we've done this 17 times, right? Or whatever. 1,000, there's all these screens on every time they've done it. And it's like when they release, this is an example, mind you, when they release the machines and they say, we've cleaned, we've extincted the surface or whatever this is like 17 times, right? You know what I mean? Like there's been so many resets, right? And the machines are like, we got really good at it. You know what I mean? And I'm just giving an example of
Yeah.
the reflection in Neo. What I'm trying to say is like, I'm getting into this mojo where I'm like, we almost got to dig deeper. I mean, all the way back to, I would say about 400 years. I feel like it's not a 100-year thing. It's not a 200-year thing. It's like a 396, 400-year thing. Like all the way back.
Something seems to have happened in 1849, 1850.
But okay, and then what's the deal with the paintings from 1657 of starships fighting over Europe? That people painted. There's literally ships clashing in the sky that they're painting in 1657.
Yeah, that came through in Eric von Däniken, Chariots of the Gods, right? I mean, just to close the chapter on the astrological thing, because this is a pet peeve with me.
Yes.
Sidereal versus Placidus.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you want to look at Sidereal, you need to look at like rectification. Okay.
Okay.
So do you know who Mick Jagger is?
Yeah. Yes.
What sign is he?
Oh, I'm not sure. I just heard in an interview.
What would you guess? If you were to guess a sign,
Mick has got to be a Leo.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. I mean, Sidereal, he's a Cancer. Doesn't work.
Really?
Doesn't work.
Got it.
I've done this so many times. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I got receipts on Placidus versus Sidereal, and they are 2 different systems.
Mm-hmm.
And my feeling is that we have it's like a program. We've invested so much in Placidus, it's overtaken Sidereal.
Got it.
That's my take. It's like,
and like I say, for all the people that are new to you, Robert, that are watching me right now, can you please explain those 2 differences? Because you're an expert. What is the 2 differences?
A sidereal system is based on what you were talking about. Okay. And it is based on constellations and not signs. Okay. And those constellations fit into a 260-day cycle. Okay. Right. And it's all pretty much a lunar based system. Right. You've got the Mayan calendar is probably the closest representation to a sidereal system.
Okay.
Then Ptolemy comes along and says, no, we're going to do 12 signs and we're going to have a perfect 360, like the perfect wheel, right? That's what 380. So this is what happens with astrology, right? Ptolemy is the father of Western astrology, and Ptolemy is amazing. I mean, he's more of an astronomer than an astrologer. But he's got all these other theories about color and math and sound. He's really pretty remarkable. And he writes a couple of books that are pretty significant. One of them is called the Almagest. That's his astronomical book. He was more into astronomy than astrology. But back then, they were the same. He's the guy that flips everything and gives us the perfect wheel, right?
Okay.
So 360 degree view, the perfect wheel. And that's the difference between Placidus. So when you're born, it is your sign that is captured in the rising sign, not the constellation that was rising.
Okay.
They're not going to be the same, right?
Gotcha.
And there are a lot of people that are sidereal based, and that's fine. But I've done the math and I've done the rectification. 9/11 to me is the litmus. Like it's all about Gemini. It's about the destruction of duality, and they're bringing in the new law, the new God, the new tower, right? And part of that whole thing.
I get that, dude. Another part of me, I got to be real. Is Bush Senior and the Bushes realizing they lost $21 trillion and having to cover it up, and fucking exiting. Fucking 15 SUVs coming out of the fucking towers with all the fucking gold they stole.
I get what you're saying, but what sign was George Bush Senior?
I don't know, but his son could barely throw a baseball. I gotta be honest. You know what I mean? Like the guy's a fucking special sauce reading a book upside down in a fucking
that part is true.
And I gotta be real. I can stare at people, bro. I get a really good reading on people when I stare through their eyes. He has the intelligence level of a 22-year-old who basically went to community college. He's not hyper intelligent. So there's just things in me when I hear stuff, and I'm like, not to go off the rails here, but I'm just like, I feel like we've been living in. You know,
if you go back again. This is my bailiwick, man.
Yeah, all right. That's what I'm saying. I love you. By the way, Robert, I love you. I'm just trying to like get everyone fired up.
You got his father, who's a Gemini, right?
He's also a lycanthrope.
Larry Silverstein, who owned the Twin Towers, is a fucking Gemini, right? Rudy Giuliani, who was mayor, is a Gemini. Donald Trump, who knew both of them, is a Gemini. And this all goes back to when Kennedy was assassinated on 11/22. What is Kennedy? He's a Gemini. Who was there in Dallas when Kennedy was assassinated? George Bush Sr., Gemini, right? You have the two Georges, right? George Sr., George Jr., the son, Gemini. Gemini. This is a Gemini fucking ritual. And they decided to tear down the Twin Towers, right? On 9/11, which is the birthday of Jesus.
Yes.
Right? 9/11. Also, they broke construction for the Pentagon on 9/11. What was it? 1940 something. Right. So the Pentagon started like they put the hammer, they put the shovel in the ground on 9/11 for the Pentagon, and Manhattan a long time ago was discovered on 9/11. Okay. So 9/11, Gemini, Twin Towers, fucking Placidus, ritual, one tower to rule them all, powered by Pluto and Sagittarius on the other side, because we're going to go over to the other side of the world now, and we're going to get those dirty, filthy Muslims. What's it all really about? It's about drugs, which is very Plutonian, isn't it?
Well, heroin, drugs, and they wanted the DNA from fucking Gilgamesh, and they wanted everything inside the Iraqi museum. And basically,
they wanted that Babylonian shit.
They wanted all that Stargate. They wanted all that shit. They wanted control over the narrative that would blow up the fake Smithsonian bullshit narrative that they've been propagating for the past couple hundred years. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I've spent so much time invested I've done a show on Gaia on this.
Yeah.
So I'm, it's like
That's what gets me going, Robert. When you get going, I just let it rip, bro. Because I'm like, you have a lot of data on this stuff, and I want,
But to your point, the Ophiuchus thing, I think is interesting.
Right.
And I think it's somebody brought up, Susan said it was that Chiron's the ruler of Ophiuchus. And I thought, wow, that kind of fits.
For me, I from a scientific standpoint, I know ether exists. Yeah. I literally have been making etheric generators with my bare hands for over a decade. I damn well know orgone energy and ether and Tartaria and the Elconosphere being electric. There's videos of guys taking drones up 1,000 feet and with a small copper string attached to it, copper cable, and he's getting voltage readings and charging batteries on the surface. This old technology, this free energy that we used to have on this planet, the airships, everything that we used to have. I mean, if it was such a big, it wasn't such a big deal, even with the airships, why in all the old black and white photos, they have to airbrush out all the airships? We had travel, we had technology, we had all of these things.
Oh, yeah.
So, my deal is just like, I really don't like being lied to. Yeah. And this whole fucking narrative with these guys. So the thing with me is like, once you quantum compute enough data, and now with everyone with their pocket AI, right, asking it questions and hacking the universe, I know, many of us are starting to play with that. Here's the thing. Even the AI is like, yeah, that doesn't add up. It's like, you can't have a higher level of, it wasn't just technology. It was like instilled, there was like full blown, enterprises, industries that were also eliminated. And I think whatever that was pre-World War I,
go a little bit deeper with that. That's a really interesting.
Well, removing the bells. Let's talk about that. The huge find in Armenia of all the damn bells they found in the ground, and all these places in Eastern Europe, they're finding all the bells buried. They told everyone they needed to melt down the bells for metal, for cannon fodder. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Me having more of like a futuristic look on stuff. I know that a reptilian brainwashing, it's not really brainwashing, but a reptilian, basically they are standing right in front of you. They're not cloaked. What happens is they have a way of frequency wise locking onto you, kind of like that movie, I forget what the one with Rowdy Piper back in the 80s. They live. They're emitting a frequency.
Mm-hmm.
That basically allows them to walk right next to you. And maybe they have a shitty, hybrid job where like, if you didn't have the frequency running through your brain, you'd definitely be able to see them. And the bells, whatever that was. Now listen, that was the technology back then. Have they, gone beyond obviously 100, 200 years, 300 years? I think they're beyond that way technologically now to be able to blend in here, or they've done enough crossbreeding where they can actually walk among us. And they actually look human. I got to be honest with you, I don't think it's the same world. But at that time, the bells, when they rung, and they always had them around the perimeter of a building, that frequency that would come off those bells would mess up the hologram or mess up or break the pattern that kept you hypnotized where you couldn't see them. Do you want to hear something cool? There was a word in Viking, and I will put it in the comments. Check this shit out. There's a word in the old Viking that they would make you say when you entered a town and they didn't know who you were. And basically a reptilian cannot pronounce this word. And that's how they would literally, if you couldn't say this word, they might even kill you on the spot. There's certain words that a reptilian vocal cord can't say. If you guys would like to know what it is, give me a thumbs up and I shall type it in.
Put it in the comments, man. Put it in the comments.
Yeah, let's go. Here it is. Reptilian Hunting Manual. In it states that a Viking Nordics used the word Kinnigan, Kinnniganigan. I don't know how here, you guys, write this down in the comments.
There it is, yeah.
Kinniganigan. Okay?
It's right there. Right there.
There it is, okay?
I can't say
as a means of making Kinnigan, there could only be one, the Highlander. Kinnigan. As means of making anyone they suspected of being reptilian to say the word Kinnigan. If they failed to be able to pronounce the word they would attempt to kill them on sight. The word cannot be accurately pronounced by reptilian vocal cords. So
interesting. It's like
Kinnigan. So, anyways, it's interesting.
Ryan, you're having a hard time saying that word.
Kinnigan. Give me my Kinnigan. Give me my Guinness and my Kinnigan. Hey, listen, I am Irish. You calm down there, Mr. Phoenix. Listen, don't ask some of your friends you're questionable about.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I love you, man. Say Kinnigan.
Right.
Yeah. So,
I can't say that word.
Yeah. Right. Hey, listen, Robert, you're projecting a lot. I haven't heard you try to say it yet.
I did say it. I said it twice.
I'm just kidding. Hey, listen, what I'm trying to say is that there's old technologies there. I mean, what is old school force field? What are old school sonic waves or vibrational technology? I just think that back in the day, it was a lot more common. These snake men or snake people, they're in different areas. Even with the national parks in the United States, what do? All the bases are all the ET bases in the United States or old artifacts or old world things. What do they say? Right after World War, I think was it pre-World War II or post? When did the president come in? He took all the gold from the citizens and then he created the national parks. You want to break down that right now, Robert?
Are you talking about Roosevelt?
Roosevelt. What year was that?
Roosevelt comes in the 20s.
Okay. So that was post World War I.
Yeah.
Okay, post World War I.
Yeah.
And anything that had anything supernatural, different species, any weird things, any old artifacts, the Grand Canyon, whatever it was, right around that time, something happened when they locked the whole thing down. Now, for me specifically, is that literally when the bankers got complete control of this country? I don't know. And the control system. And you know what I mean? So there's a date here, ladies and gentlemen. 1913 is when they come in, right?
Yeah.
Jekyll Island. They create the Fed. They create this shit. Hey, we're going to print your money. As soon as these guys got the ability to print money out of thin air, they basically took control over, what we viewed as, reality, or our parents or our grandparents. Then you got the Cabbage Patch Kids generation. You got all of these buildings, especially out here in Sedona, but really, what's that one place up in the hills behind my house? I forget what it's called. It's a different town. I don't know. If you guys are from around here, let me know.
You're not talking about Prescott?
You got Prescott. No. And then you got up in the hills. What's it called?
Prescott's got some Tartarian shit.
Prescott. And then you have I forget what it's called. They have like Ghost Hunters show. Anyways, I can't remember right now, but there's a place about 30 miles from here. Here's the thing that's interesting. Similar to the Capitol buildings, how they're made of this particular architecture. Oh, Jerome. Yes, Jerome, Arizona. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Similar to the Capitol buildings that they have in this very specific architecture where it's like old school, right? Why in God's name would you also spend that much money and that type of architecture to build as insane asylums?
Right.
That are built by the government.
Right.
Who and what was that? Who would spend that type of money if it wasn't a complete brainwashing, remove all of the adults that remember, throw them into insane asylums if they weren't killed by the, the vaccines from the Spanish influenza. Anyone who survived getting that inoculation. Let's go ahead and all the adults that remember what happened, Tartaria. Let's go ahead and inoculate all of them. If they survive, throw them in insane asylums. Take all their kids, right? Put them on orphan trains. What about to replace the population after the flood, right? That 30-foot mud flood.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and have Cabbage Patch Kids. And all the kids that don't make it out so well out of that situation, let's go ahead and put them in the carnivals, the carne, right? All those weird sideshow freaks. That wasn't natural. Those are the leftovers from the weird Cabbage Patch Kid things that didn't turn out very well. You know what I mean? So what I'm getting to.
That makes total sense, dude.
Yeah, there's scientific experiments, ladies and gentlemen. Those weren't natural born people. How do you have all these crazy things born exactly in a 10-year window at the same time they're shooting out Cabbage Patch Kids? Those are all the things that were born and we're like, I don't know, put them in the carnival. That was even a saying back in the day, right? where parents would tell their kids, "Hey, if you act up, I'm gonna put you in the carnival."
Well, the other thing,
You know what I
the
mean?
other,
I'm gonna put you in the carnival if you act up.
right.
So
The other thing too is they had these incubators at the World's Fairs with
yeah,
these Cabbage Patch Kids,
full
right?
stop.
Right, and that's in fact Jerry Seinfeld talks about how his father was one of those babies at one of those incubators at one of those World's Fairs. So yeah, interesting stuff. By the way, Mind Unveiled, I believe, is a channel, YouTube channel that's got like 5 or 6 parts on the Cabbage Patch Kids. So if anybody wants to go deeper, I highly recommend Mind Unveiled as a channel. They go way deep. They're looking at like postcards, illustrations, all these things. These kids literally growing out of heads of cabbage, right? And you know what that reminds me?
Well, then they had the World's Fairs. I mean, the
Yeah.
World's Fairs, all the technologies they have. And yes, Brandy, you can't see this, Robert, on my side. Titanic was sank in 1912 to allow those people to set up a monopoly. They killed the people when it sank. So we all know the Titanic did not hit an iceberg. When they went down there, the metal was bent outwards, meaning there was an explosion in the bottom hull. They waited till it was at a certain location that they knew if they sank that ship right there, that majority of the people would have died. It was freezing, the water was cold, and it was very deep. The blast goes out, not in. They didn't hit an iceberg. There was an explosion. The billionaires are the super wealthy people that in the United States that were against the creation of the Federal Reserve. Their mansions are still sitting in Pennsylvania.
So you're talking about the Astor family.
There's still people. So I'm trying to get to is like, not that this is all coming down right now. The financial system's about to change.
Yeah,
we all know that. That's why we're kind of talking about it. There is a new financial system rolling out. There is a lot of changes happening financially and policy-wise on the planet. And I just want everyone to know that it's not all doom and gloom. We just wanted you guys to know that with some of these technologies and some of these things, the next thing they're going to release is, hey, you're not alone on this planet. A lot of those what do they call them? UABs.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be UFO.
UAVs.
Yeah. Unidentified. I'm on a roll. UAVs are
unidentified aerial
phenomenon or vehicle.
Yeah.
So the deal is that a lot of those vehicles or a lot of those things, there is a very old species on this planet that has been here as long, if not longer, obviously way longer than us, right? That actually have a civilization in the bottom of the oceans. And they've lived here a very, very long time. We are already cohabitating with multiple species on this planet.
UAP.
So it's, UAP. So
thank you, California Country.
Thank you. So, and when I was on the Contact at Sea cruise, one of the guys that was in charge of all those satellites that was run by the government, forget his name, he was saying that new word was needed to actually, instead of UFO, right? They needed that new word, right, to actually bring new documentation and stuff into
because when they change the syntax and they change the language, something is going on, right?
Yeah.
There's like a ripple in the matrix. Something is shifted for sure.
Yep. So,
the other thing, and the Titanic wasn't even the Titanic. They switched those boats out, right? That's another part of this Gemini thing, by the way. But I
don't know. It's just, what's real down here? You know what I mean? This whole thing seems like some flim flam job, and they keep changing stuff left and right. Just like in the same way. They're even changing history, and even in Japan, they don't even really teach about World War II or something to the kids. They don't even tell them about it.
Japan is
there's things where they're just rewriting history to make it,
kind of place. Japan's a different kind of place.
Yeah. By the way, I like Japan and I love anime and I love you guys. I'm just trying to say, I don't know. Just like there's something about this whole game where they're literally changing history as we live right now. And you know what I mean? As we're living through them changing history right now.
All right. So let's take just a little breath here. Because I think if we move the conversation forward, Trump is now saying we need mental institutions again. He wants to bring the asylums back, right? Like, oh, isn't that interesting? And we've been indoctrinated in this idea of the Great Reset. starting around 2020
Mhm.
when Klaus Schwab started to talk about it. And you know what he called it? He called it the twin reset.
Okay.
That's what he called it back in 2020. So now we have the reintroduction of asylums. They want to bring them back. Well, I wonder why.
Yeah.
I wonder why. Because more than
yeah.
likely, we're going to go through a reset, and there are going to be people that are going to say, this is not the world we were living in. Right. We're living in a counterfeit version of the world that we were living in. They got to put, just like back then, they got to put those people somewhere. Right.
Right.
So the asylum system, when I was living in California, we used to have this place called Agnew State Hospital. And it was a place where people who had no place to go and lost their marbles. I mean, the care probably wasn't the greatest, right? But at a certain point, Reagan just said, screw it, we're shutting them down. We're shutting these hospitals down. And then he basically emptied the asylums. So you had all these people that were just, walking around the streets. I used to live in San Jose. And we,
Oh, wow. See, I didn't even know that. So in the 80s, they emptied the asylums? Reagan did?
70s.
70s. Okay,
yeah.
shit. I didn't even know that. That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
So would they just send him to county jail?
They just said, hey, here's a raincoat. You're on your own. I swear to God.
We're not paying for you guys anymore. Basically,
no. And when I was a kid, I would go to downtown San Jose, which was nothing like it is today. And I would go and buy records, right? Go to the record store. And we had this weird schedule for 1 year. It was called double session. There was so many kids at our school. And so my freshman year, we didn't start school until about 12:15. And if I timed it right, I could ride the bus across town, be there when the record store opened, thumb through the records, buy a couple records, come back and then make it back to school in time. But when I would go down there, I would see all these derelict people that were just hanging around. Like, where did these people come from? They got dumped there. Right. And some of them were old and some of them were young, and kind of a cross section. Most of them were male. But that's what happened. So they closed the asylum system, the mental health institution, because Reagan wanted to balance the budget. And, we'll let the counties or whoever deal with it if they can.
Okay.
And that's what happened. And so here we go. Right now, now Trump wants to bring back the asylums.
Yeah. Well, the only thing, like I said, I don't have a dog in this fight. The only thing I can say is this: the level of hypnotism that is coming out of the televisions and have been specifically with, the 44, was it 440 hertz?
Yeah.
I think there, for example, when I was in high school, I went to, graduation night, where after you have your graduation, some high schools do this. You all kind of go with your seniors, like a senior grad trip, and you go somewhere. And there was a hypnotist. We went to this theme park, and we had they rent it out or whatever. We went to this theme park, and I remember there was a hypnotist there, and all 300 or 400 of us were there. And, we're trying to get, everyone's raising their hand to go up on stage, and some people could be hypnotized and some couldn't.
That's right.
And here's the weirdest thing, ladies and gentlemen. One of my besties at that time, Brian, if you're watching out there, love you, bro. And I've known this guy my whole life. I mean, basically high school football and wrestling and all this shit. And I saw this guy get hypnotized and act like a chicken on stage and like this whole thing. And I was so shook. I couldn't be hypnotized. And I watched that and I was like, oh my God. And I remember he goes to the hypnotist, I have to use the bathroom. And in front of everyone on stage, and the hypnotist goes, go to the bathroom. So I go with him, just tripping out. And I'm like 18 years old going, and I'm trying to go, Brian, hey man. And the dude was fully hypnotized, used the restroom. I'm sitting outside waiting for him. He comes out. And I'm like, Brian, man, snap out of it. It wasn't until that guy went back on stage and that hypnotist brought him back that he went, whoa, where am I? What's going on? So I'm just trying to say, people to think this shit's real. There is a certain part of the population that has been hypnotized to a level where it's like the hypnotist brought you into being hypnotized and never unhypnotized you. There's people that have this gene. There's people among us. I don't know if they're NPCs or what they are. I don't know what it is, but it freaked me out that a guy I've known my whole life could go 100% hypnotist. Like you're like where none of the world exists anymore. So I'm just trying,
yeah,
so
I'll add another layer onto this.
Go ahead.
Maybe the ones that can be hypnotized are the descendants of Cabbage Patch Kids.
There you go. So I'm just trying to say, like, having some of these people and people doing really evil. There's something about it where it's mental health. Yes, I get it. But there's also something here with the frequencies and technologies and radio waves, Wi-Fi waves, hypnotism things that have happened to the population. Some of us actually have a natural resistance to being mind controlled. And some people could be your neighbor, could be the person you work with. They have no defense and they just instantly hypnotize. So you're saying he wants to bring back the asylums. I think what they're quietly saying is zoom out and look at what it really is. Hey guys, there's a part of the population, maybe 20 or 30%, that when you tell them things are real, they really believe it. They have no controls or discernment to that. I've met some NPCs and it's very nice people, but they're very programmable. So it's interesting. You have beings like us in soul that cannot be brainwashed or programmed, leaning against people that actually use these certain frequencies or programming to, program the population, to hypnotize the population, to lie to the population look at the original patent on a television, 440 hertz. It literally says mind controlled device. Okay. So what I'm getting to is zoom out and think about these insane asylums. I don't think they should call them that, mind you. I mean, mental health facilities. I think there's a lot of trauma that we've all gone through, especially those that, lived through COVID and all that jazz, right? There's something here where there's a deeper question that we really need to take a look at with these tech giants. I saw videos from 3 or 4 years ago, all the tech head guys from Meta, Google, and everyone was there. And they were talking about how through different algorithms and frequencies coming from the cell phones that they could actually redirect people's voting habits. And they go, yeah, it's technology. We can do it. Our technology can affect the masses. We can lean towards one candidate or another. So that's a real thing. And I know that with Zuckerbucker, that he was facing real serious charges. And all of a sudden he became Team Trump. Someone tapped him on the shoulder and said, you could be arrested for treason, bro. You could spend the rest of your life in jail, not on your little island in Kauai, eating pineapples and mangoes, in jail for the rest of your life. Hey, man, I'm Team Trump. Yes, sir. So what I'm trying to say,
well, he was always a project, though, wasn't he? I mean,
inside of his jacket, he has the entire Illuminati symbolism.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like he's wearing the hoodie. He opens the damn thing up on a thing and has the whole thing on the inside, guys.
He's a project. It's a byproduct of DARPA and the CIA and the NSA, and he's been spoon fed that all along, right? So whoever is now the wizard behind the curtain, he's going to be eyes to.
Yeah, Robert, you're an intelligent dude. Who has eyes on DARPA? Who's in charge of DARPA? Who has oversight over DARPA? I know Elon Musk is a point man for DARPA. I just have a question being down here. Who has eyes on what they're doing in the secret space program, which is now, Solar Warden, which we've had for 80 years plus.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. The new name for it is Space Force. That's the term they're going to bring out. But who has eyes on the Majestic 12 and DARPA? Who's really in charge of this shit? I just have a question for you. I
have anecdotal historical relationship with DARPA, which I can talk about. I don't know if it answers it, but it could add to the conversation. Mm-hmm. Before I do that, though, I got to just say, Scott, that's like hypnotizing chickens. That is a great Iggy Pop reference, by the way.
Yeah. Some people can. It's just it's real. So I've seen,
that's from Lust for Life. Anyway, I lived not far from DARPA in California.
Okay.
DARPA is located up behind Berkeley in what they call Lawrence Livermore Labs.
Okay.
And so that's where DARPA is. So you have DARPA there, and then you have Stanford with the Linear Accelerator, and Stanford is Langley West for the CIA. So between the two of them in the Bay Area, they kind of anchor this experimentation. So in 2006 to about 2010, I was a targeted individual, and it was not very fun. And there was everything from black helicopters
Mm-hmm.
to I was dealing with a heavy duty bout of Morgellons.
Mm-hmm.
And all these things were going on during that time. And so one day I had this absolutely brutal case of vertigo. And it happened the day after I got hit in my third eye with some kind of a scalar weapon. I was watching TV about 1:00 in the morning. It was like a tuning fork hit me right on my third eye. And then I had this kind of ripple effect go across both lobes of both sides of my brain.
Right.
And it felt weird. It was not a spiritual phenomenon of any kind.
Mm-hmm.
And so the next day I woke up and was feeling a little weird. And then later that day, I went into this heavy, bout of vertigo. And I was hospitalized, and I had vertigo for about 6 months. I went to go see an acupuncturist later that week, one of the first acupuncturists in the country. And I told him what happened to me. And he said, "You're like the sixth person that's told me the same story this week."
So they're doing tests out there, man. There's something going on.
So I had a guy on my show about 4 years ago, Steve Mercer. Will probably remember him. Steve, if you can remember who he was, put him in chat or the name in chat, because Steve booked him. And he wrote about targeted individuals. And he was in the Berkeley area the same time I was, and the same thing happened to him.
Okay.
Right? And this guy's a college professor, by the way.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And he wound up being a professor, I think, at the University of Cal Merced. So DARPA was running targeted individual experiments, and I was part of the experiment, even though I didn't consent to being a part of their experiment. So the answer to your question is, who's got eyes on it? Nobody.
Okay.
That's your answer. Nobody.
Okay, so that's just something that I think should be brought into public awareness. And I mean, same thing with Skunk Works, same thing with their on and off world spacecraft and vehicles they have created that look like UFOs, but they're man-made. There's a lot of stuff going on, especially with this 3i Atlas coming in hot. It banks in around Mars during the Bridge Expo. David Palmer and I did a video about it.
Yeah.
Gosh, when that kind of story broke, it's almost been over a month ago. I mean, literally, it was like beginning of August or even before that. So, and speaking of that, that 3i Atlas comes in, and it comes in right around October 16th. Is as close apparently as it's going to get to us. And I was like, great. And he goes, yeah, the bridge starts on the 17th. And I'll be like, I'll be coming in to the hotel. You know what I mean? Right when that thing's getting close. And it's funny that, people need to know. My guide said, hey, I'm like, what should we do this? Should we do this conference? Like, yes, call it the bridge. Like, it's not like this came from like my 3D consciousness. This was like my higher selves, especially the team we put together to explain to the population. I know you and Robert, you and Palmer, David, you guys have your own presentation and panel going on, on Sunday at the Bridge Expo. And you're going to be bringing the fire, but I'm saying everything that's kind of coming to this culmination, everything's picking up right now. And I know you feel that, Robert. Everything's accelerating, and there is a great change or something happening. Not only tonight, you know what I mean, but in disclosure in general, we're getting pushed in a certain direction as a group. You know what I mean? You have your own group that you speak to where you're an expert. Palmer does. I do. Everyone in the comments that has their own podcasts and whatnot. But here's what I'm trying to say. It's not, two groups coming together. It's like 25 different streams are coming together, and all types of knowingness are coming together. That is the macrocosm of what's really happening right now. We're all being gathered together. And a lot of us need to have certain base operational data to understand or understand how we got to this place right now in the present, right? From everything from the deep state, how they were formed, to some of the dark agencies, to how things have been changed, to the organizations that have kind of muddied the waters, to the financial situation, to the spiritual situation, the technology. What I'm trying to say is, I feel even in this video right now, what are we doing? We're taking all of these facets of human consciousness and we're plugging them in together with our family live across the planet to figure out if there is going to be a great change, if there is going to be a precipice of change in our consciousness.
Oh,
If
it's
we,
coming.
if we are moving into the new world,
Yeah.
this is our last ditch effort to go, okay, what the heck happened before we turn this page? Like, what happened back here before we jump into this pool? Does that make sense? We have to take all the things from the past that worked and didn't work as a reference. Does that make sense? We have to know, hey, we're not doing that again in the new world. We're not doing this again in the new world. We're not letting these people be in charge again in the next management cycle. So that's one way I can look about it, how we're all coming together. I love the fact that everyone in these comments right now is a highly skilled, deep diver, research and development, high intellectual person. We need you. We need you to cross-check us. We need you to get us information. We need each other to find out the truth. All I want is the truth and nothing but the truth. That's it.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be lied to. No more sugar-coated stories. We want to
Well,
know.
we're in a battle for it now, aren't we?
100%.
We're in a battle. I mean, when I watched what happened last week with Kennedy and all these people, and I'm like, kind of in on Kennedy. It's like he's not my culture hero. Do I think he's perfect? No. Do I think he understands that vaccines are fucked up? Yeah, I think he does. Right? Does he want to have a healthier America? Yeah, he does. Like I trust him in those areas.
Bobby's
right?
doing a good job, dude.
I trust him. I trust him there. His relationship with Rabbi Shmuley, we can leave that off the table for now. But watching all those senators and those representatives come out and just absolutely, I mean, it was almost like Jesus before the Sanhedrin. Right?
Yeah,
That's what it is. It felt like, right?
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, I'm watching these people and I'm like, these people have no soul.
Nope.
They sold their soul to big fucking pharma for $150,000 fucking campaign donation, right? They have no soul.
Right.
And I'm like, and based on everything we're talking about, how could people not see that? Right.
Well,
it's kind of like the movie They Live, and that frequency's getting really weak. And their ability to cloak themselves, that's going away.
Yeah, and the thing too is, here's the thing that these politicians and things don't see coming. They don't see us coming. They don't see a population of my friends and family. I guarantee you the people in these comments could sit in any of these UN meetings and scan every single person sitting there. I could tell you which of them sold their soul and which are solid and which are not in about 38 seconds. 20 of us in that room, we go, he's cool, absolutely not. I mean, there are people with their gifts. Why do you think they tried so hard, ladies and gents, to calcify all the pineal glands on planet Earth? And they literally put fluoride in all of the water system because they damn well know if your third eye's on, I can see if someone's ensouled or not. You can damn well see the being standing behind them, puppeting them around. That's why. Why would they spend so much money? Right? Over that duration of time. Second thing is Dicenian glass has the same classification as nuclear weapons. What? You're talking about a solution made out of coal oil that blocks specific UV light coming through it where you can see who has a soul and who doesn't. That is the same classification and confidentiality as nuclear weapons. Who's scared of that information coming out? Who's scared of someone getting that formula, making $100,000 pair of sunglasses, 100,000 of sunglasses, right? Giving that formula out so every single person on Earth can go, hey, yeah, sure, bro. Hold on a second. Even cops. Hey, hold on a second. Yeah. You're kind of, whatever that word is, right? Again. Hey, hold on a second. Say this word for me real quick. Can you imagine people? Listen, you think it's a joke? Hey,
Yeah.
all it would take is I'm going to go ahead and make 1 million pairs of sunglasses that have Dicenian glass, and I'm going to give them out to everybody, and especially law enforcement. And they just go, hey, pull over. You know, you get out of the car, you go, hey, sir, say this word for me 3 times, and just puts these glasses on. The whole jig is up. Jig's up, dude. And it's a lot faster and a lot quicker than the population can even understand. They're on the precipice of having the whole thing fall apart. They're walking on the razor's edge right now.
It is absolutely. So when that happens, there's more exercise and control.
Yeah, and literally,
right?
Robert, click on that right there to people understand. Those are literally the Peter Bonane. Literally, they live sunglasses are a real thing. It's Dicenian glass.
Yeah, they back in the day they used them as night vision goggles, right?
So,
and then the guys who were in Vietnam using the first version of them saw all kinds of crazy shit. Right?
And they started shooting at things in that spectrum, and they're like, "There's nothing there." They're like, "There's like demon dragons following the helicopter."
So they went from the
red to the green.
Red to the green.
Yep.
Red to the green. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So the interesting thing about watching all this happen, especially on, I know a lot of people knock Twitter, X, whatever, but when you see the tweets that are uniform coming out against not just JFK, but the Surgeon General of Florida, right, who basically said, "Hey, look, if you don't want to take the vaccines, you don't have to."
Okay.
Right. All these politicians sold their soul for 40 ounces of silver or 40 pieces of silver, right? And they're coming out and they're berating these guys. And you go through the comments, 90% of the comments are calling them out about that they're full of shit and nobody's believing them anymore. Right. That when we get to that point, when we're at that point now, we are at a tipping point.
Yes.
Where consciousness creates reality, or so-called reality, right? So when we say no to certain things, and no is a good thing, right? And enough of us say no, what happens is the world around us begins to shift and change, right? And what we'll see is these people try to hold on to control more and more and more. And the more that they try to hold on to control, the more obvious it's going to become as to what's happening. And even to the normies are going to get it. They're going to see it.
My deal is that instead of like, what would an upper dimensional say? Like, this is something I need to also preface too. It's like, if you really were, a divine being, and you really were Centaur, you really have angelic aspects, the Lyrian, Arcturian, Andromedan flavor. You're really here to serve humanity. You're really a starseed, an Azurite soul, an angelic, whatever that may be in your description, a good person or like a divine person. What we want is a graceful transition. What we don't need is pointing fingers at one another, but what we need to realize is and figure out who is ensouled, who's actually going through the similar incarnation ascension path, who actually has humanity in their hearts, who actually wants the best for their brothers and sisters on this planet, and then who is trying to control that, and who is trying to create separation. And it's kind of funny, who, WHO, and who, right, is actually trying to cause distortion and making this entire experience a shit show for all of us, instead of us having a beautiful ascension and enjoying one another. And this distortion it will come to an end. And I just think, it will come to an end. And I'm holding space that we can come together in a more unified field. Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is that I still hold space in my heart and in my energy, brother, that we can get through this together. My deal is that for all of us out there sharing each other, insights, wisdoms, even sharing this video out, we appreciate it. We're just trying to bring up some subjects that you may have heard a little bit about. But my thing is that when you put all this data and you put it in a line in a linear format, and you see how they're trying and what they've done to us as the collective of this planet, right? and what their end game is, right? Our job is to be the counter to that negativity. Our job is to see what they're doing, call it out, and go, hey, ladies and gents, don't fall for this shit. They're going to try it again. The fact that we have these beings up here as a reflection of who and what we listen to on this planet, to pay attention that our job was to always resonate everything with our hearts first before we used our minds, which can be hypnotized, which can be programmed. This is, your brain is literally a chemical computer. Okay. It's literally what it is. This is a flesh computer, your brain. Okay. So what I'm getting to is there's something in us after taking all this data and all of us together here right now. The main point is let's just work together to not have this sort of ridiculousness, lies, and betrayal happen again, because we are supposed to be, as indigos, the line in the sand, okay, to protect future generations, right? I know Mr. Palmer just had two beautiful kids, just had his son. It's his job as a father to protect his children and their consciousnesses from this bullshit. You're a father too, right? It's our job to protect our families from this. And you may be the only one awake in your families. What I'm trying to explain to you is you may look left and right at your dining room table and it's just you, bro, or ladies out there. You're the only one awake in your entire family. Do not rely on the NPCs or the unconscious out there to guide you. It's your job to say, hey, mom, don't eat that. It's poisoned. Hey, father, turn the damn TV off. It's brainwashing you. Hey, stop listening to Bill Gates. He's trying to kill 80% of the population. Hey, it's our job to call that stuff out. I know it's difficult, ladies and gents, but listen, no one said incarnating here was going to be easy. I'm just trying to be real with you out there. All of us can resonate exactly with what I said just there, because we've all had to go through it. And believe me, I can tell you one thing, after this COVID bullshit, we had to see it. You know what I mean? Friends, family that fell for it. So, you know, what do you have to say about that, brother?
I take their kids away from them. No, I'm just kidding.
No, hey, listen, that's hardcore.
Fuck with you, man.
NPCs, someone please help me.
Dude, I go to the dark side every now and then.
Oh, listen, I get it, but I'm just trying to say that there is something here for us to learn in a reflection, right? You have to see both polarizations to make a choice. My thing is that I've seen enough choices on this planet. I've seen enough decision making on this planet and who I've actually bumped in here with and interacted with to say that a change of the guard is necessary, not just in the physical plane of existence, but above and below dimensionally. A change of the guard is necessary. And I believe that some of us are here to assist in facilitating the new world coming in, the golden age returning, the end of the Kali Yuga. And I think together we're going to accomplish that. For you guys who actually want to hang out with us, I definitely recommend you guys coming out to the Bridge Expo, October 17th through the 19th.
Let me get the banner up here.
Let's talk about it. You know, there we go.
It is. Yeah.
Get the day. Yeah. Day of Being No Space is the coupon code.
And just by a show of hands, I'd love to see who's coming already from anybody in chat. If you're coming, put a little hand up there or let us know you're in attendance and if not, here you go. Here's your chance to get yourself your $40 discount. Plus, if you buy one, there's like $100 off for your friend.
So if you guys buy a ticket, we wanted to do this because we got so many emails and comments, thousands really, that were interested. And they said, hey, I brought my friend, you know, can I get a free, is there any way I want to bring my friend? Is there any way we can get a discount?
Look at that. We got Phoenix Flight coming. Jared Hager's coming. Meow Meow's coming. Barbara Boots is coming.
Yep. So So basically, if you purchase a ticket, use this coupon code right here. Okay. Once you get your ticket, all you have to do is email support@teamlight.com. We're going to send you bring a friend coupon code, and it's $100 off their ticket. And like I said, we didn't raise the prices. We're doing our best. We're supposed to raise the prices just for the venue. I think we're moving into the bigger space. So all this stuff that we're doing here at Team Light, if you're new and you don't know who we are, that's cool. Nice to meet you. we're really all about creating the most rad experience for our friends and family, period. And if any of you guys came to Rise of the Guardians in Sedona, give a thumbs up or let everyone on the earth know how fire it was out here in Sedona about 5 months ago. David Palmer, you guys love him. I know in Robert Phoenix's crowd, he's fire. He's going to be out there. He's speaking on Saturday. Robert and David have a panel and a discussion on Sunday. And we have a big party. If you guys just want to come for the day, there is a day pass on that link too.
Look at that. That's Saturday.
That's Saturday night, dude. It's Saturday night. It's called the Galaxy Ball.
David is DJing, and I would highly recommend that. He's incredible.
He's phenomenal.
And I've been around the DJ world for a long time, and David is David ranks. He ranks. Hey,
bro, get up there, Robert. Yeah. Hey, listen, I like the 80s. I may be more into your vibe. You know what I mean? I'll be like, Robert's on the spin tables. I might kill it, bro.
Man, I was going through like the whole like Blue Room speaker trance scene in San Francisco in the 90s. Like, man, the electronic music in the 90s was killer.
Oh, it was fire. So, we wanted, me and Mr. Phoenix wanted to come on here today to send some love and appreciation to you guys and hang out with you while some of you guys are going through your lunar eclipse right now. Want to go ahead and switch gears. And I'll be the light. I'll be the salt. He can be the pepper tonight for you.
Yeah.
But,
there you go.
Here's the thing. We're going to get through this storm together. And that's what I want you guys to know. We're getting through this storm regardless. We are very stubborn. All of us here are very optimistically stubborn, and I'm a very stubborn individual as far as like, I don't like bullshit. I know Robert doesn't either. I definitely don't like being told what to do, right? And my thing, I can promise you that you're not going to tell me or convince me what to do unless you can out logic me. Good luck with that. Yeah. And I'm really into just kind of freeing this planet from these chains over our mind, bodies, and spirits. And I'm not going to stop until we get our brothers and sisters out of this freaking phantom matrix. I'm going to keep kicking down the door and expressing things. Mm-hmm. And my brothers and sisters are here to do just the same. So that's all I'd like to say, brother.
Well, if you hang out here long enough, our brother in arms will be joining us shortly.
Who?
Who do you think?
Oh, no way. Palmer's jumping on here?
Yeah, if you hang out for an extra minute or two, you'll look.
Oh my God, let's go.
Hang out with them.
All right, let's go. If I didn't know Palmer, if you hear this.
I was waiting for him to just jump on, but it sounds like you're getting ready to leave, so I got to pump the brakes on you a little bit.
Listen, this is a surprise.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, so he'll be on in a minute. Okay. Look, and I totally agree with you. And look, I think we all have different. Mm-hmm. It's like astrology, different parts of the wheel, right? You got a part of the wheel. I got a part of the wheel. David's got his part of the wheel. And together, right, we can turn the wheel, right? We all don't have to do the same thing.
We only have so much energy, dude. Like all of us have our own school that we're processing in our own reality. It's just like, it's not to know everything. It's just whatever you're really into, crush that. You know what I mean?
But if we can find the synthesis.
Yes.
Right. That's what I'm interested in, is if we can find the synthesis between what you're talking about, your mission, where my path has taken me, where David's path has taken him, where it's taking him with 2 children, right? Yeah. And if we can find a synthesis between these varying points of view and experiences, I think it's really exciting. And to me, that's Pluto and Aquarius, right?
Yo, people don't know. I really didn't know Palmer was jumping on. I'm excited. I'm like, hey, let me go ahead and change the colors up. Listen, it's getting hot in here. I was ready to jump off. I know. David, come on, baby, clicky. Let's get it popping, bro.
I had to pump the brakes on you a little bit there, so he'll be here in a second.
Okay.
So let's go over the dates again. When can people come do this? Tell them the dates.
Okay, October 17th through the 19th. So, we can do this. So basically, check-in for the VIPs is on Friday at 5. You got VIPs have a whole thing. You guys want to read the schedule? It's all up on that event. The entire schedule of event Friday, Saturday, Sunday is up. It's action-packed. I mean, once this thing starts, it is nonstop. We have a new TV docuseries trailer going off Friday. The teaser trailer will be there. And then we have Jean-Charles Moyen's feature film, which he just made, premiering in the Juniper Room on Friday at 8 p.m. There's also like a cacao ceremony. There's a meet and greet at the restaurant in the Hyatt. The Hyatt Regency Hotel is a very high-end hotel. It's only 3 years old. It's the main conference center or rooms is actually where the Dallas Cowboys have some of their office parties. It's a very high-end place we're going to, ladies and gents. The Saturday, it's nonstop all day long. We got Bill Homan, the Mitchell Hedges Skull. He's going to be doing an activation. He's also going to be doing a private group activation on Sunday for the VIPs. Masadi's going to be there doing a private group activation. Yes, there he is.
What's up? What's up?
There he is. The Leo King in the house.
Dude,
on,
fucking
David?
tag team jumping in. Fucking Marvels assemble, motherfucker. Fucking get in there.
He was just getting ready to leave. I'm like, well, hold on a second.
Palmer's coming.
You may want to pump your brakes a little bit.
He said, my brother's coming. I'm in. So what's up, dude?
It's good to see you both together. I'm so stoked for the event.
Mm-hmm.
I just love what you guys are talking about. I mean, especially at the end here, it's like, that's why we're all coming together, is to make sure it's not that we force people. It's a bridge. Hey, it's a bridge. We're over here.
Mm-hmm.
You want to wake up, just see things. I mean, honestly, it's just about transparency and truth and connection. Really, it is about the power of connection and what it can do, what the people are here to do now in this world. Because I've never seen the illusion so thick where people are just like acting like, well, I guess we can't make a change anymore. I'm like, what? It's like,
yeah.
I'm actually seeing it. It doesn't
break that down. Break that down a little bit. How what does that look like?
It looks like, oh, you can't say anything in these countries anymore, and then in America they're doing the same thing. So you just can't say anything that's weird going on anymore. And so people don't band together anymore, and people just kind of like fall over. People are forced into the gig economy now, the young generation, and they're being slammed in their face. Like, you need to just accept this. And they're taking us crazier and crazier into the Orwellian story and acting like it's the greatest hits moment when it's not.
Right.
David, we got a request that you pump your volume a little bit, brother.
Oh, I mean, sure. I'm on my AirPods.
You sound a little underwater.
All right. On my AirPod, I don't know how I can turn it up more.
Well, if you can't do it, then people just have to turn their end of the equation up. So I just wanted to put that out there. There we go. All right.
So, Robert,
that's what it feels like.
Okay. All right. I turned it up when you got on. I just pushed my audio so I could hear you louder. That's all.
So why don't you guys want to talk a little bit about what you guys are going to be discussing? I know, Robert, you sent me a specific little write-up. Did you want to read kind of what that was and what you guys are going to be talking about on Sunday?
Sure. David and I were chatting away on text we actually were talking on the phone. We had a phone conversation, which is so 20th century, but great. Loved it. I just, we're talking about AI, and, David's got his AI venture that he's working on.
Reclaiming the future.
It's reclaiming the future. And the idea is that we need decentralized access to all of this technology, right? If we're going to have AI, then level the fucking playing field and let people have their own whack at what they can do with it versus the gatekeepers being in control of the artificial intelligence. And that's kind of the foundation of what we want to talk about, using the outer planets, which everything is going to accelerate like you won't fucking believe, and getting these tools in the hands of people outside of the circle of power or the ring of power. And that's why we're calling it reclaiming the future, right? Because all this stuff is going to be accessible to us. This is what David is working on. David, you want to tell people a little bit about your venture and how we kind of came to this idea?
Well, I mean, it's kind of, and I fixed it. It was off my iPhone for some reason.
Yeah, you're loud and
Uranus
clear
retrograde.
now. Loud and clear now.
Lunar eclipse happening. It was interesting because I was telling Robert what's not being said is like it's gatekeeping to the extreme now with AI because it's all done on the cloud with all these big companies that own all the servers. If you look at NVIDIA, which is one of the largest companies in the world, you can go buy all the AI GPUs, but $20,000-$50,000 for one or two of the real thing. I mean, they make a new little NIM system where it's like, 10 grand for a little
No, and
computer.
as the guy said, like it's 10 grand for this. Now we did it for $500, and it's like just as powerful.
Right.
The technology is just exponentially
But
blown
like
up.
most people don't realize that, I was thinking technologically, it's like some guy just posted the other day, like he was on an airline and now it's all bots. It's all AI chats. You don't speak to anybody anymore. So you have to understand prompting and basic AI to actually prompt the bot to actually help you instead of just give the run of the mill, to actually get you to somebody or to get you to a refund access. It's like that's easy stuff, but we're gonna get into harder stuff where it's like how do you crack it? Well, we're gonna have to build our own systems the same way that as people we're gonna have to build our own coalitions to make these changes. It's the same as the technology and humanity's evolution has been following exponentially, especially since 1930 when we found Pluto. It's just been like crazy. And I think that, the long term for me and like what Hypergate's been is, it's great. Of course, it's an astrology tool, but it's also a full prediction astrology. And most AI astrology is raw. It doesn't work where we got it to work
in your
fully.
studio, it was crazy, bro. Even like your screen when you showed me 3i Atlas coming in hot, like people, whole, I mean, the whole studio and asking your AI and having that communication with it and everything that's going on, the technology, you're really on the pulse of it. My thing is specifically with this in general, when you just said that, something kind of switched to me. Is like, we need to train our own AI to go against the AI the narrative's pushing.
This is
what I mean.
This is what we're talking about. We're talking about.
It's like, hey, it's like
we're reclaiming the future, right?
Yeah.
Who gets to say that they have the source code and the sole patent to use this technology? It's bullshit.
Right.
Well, this is what they're doing is it's called LLM, large language models. That's what your ChatGPT is, your Grok 4, right? They're these large language models. So we don't use 99% of what all the data is on there, right? And they tout these things off and it's great. I mean, it acts like Google in many ways. But when it gets to these niche areas like astrology, the large language model really doesn't make sense. It's really going to be about SLM, small language models. And that's what's happening in the secrets is if you look on even your YouTube, you have to turn off, do not use my content for AI training, because that's what Google wants. Is they want
I
subtly
need to hit that settings.
all of your data, because then they learn astrology, and then in 2 years, guess what? They have their own astrology in their large language model through their SLMs.
Right.
So what they're doing right now is they're creating SLMs, small language models of specific genres, of subjects, of books, of all these things. And that's where they're going to gatekeep fully. But if you know how to do this yourself and you're smart enough to go, okay, like, could we just give a USB in a year from now that has all the esoteric, the astrology, human design, all the light codes, all the Palladian channeled messages, all the stuff from everything that we've all talked about our whole lives, and give it to where you would never need the internet ever, right? And you plugged it in and it was a full AI that actually you could always, and it would pass on. And if you did hook it up to any kind of what the future of internet is, you would actually be able to keep it going and evolving, but as a tool that's helping humanity. We're at that point to where there's the two courses to pick. We're on this course whether we like it or not.
I agree 100%. And people who want to just reject this wholly, it's like it was like trying to stop the second industrial revolution in 1900. Right?
Exactly.
You couldn't do it. So you better be prepared and decentralize this stuff So it becomes a power tool for us to deal with and to use versus whatever centralized model will be forced to use.
Yeah, I mean, the most important function is if there is something going on. You know, personally, I do like the organic function of reality. I do agree with that. However, I am staring at the U.S. government building billion-dollar data centers all over the United States and
Right.
putting a shit ton of infrastructure and money into it. So it's almost like I can imagine being a farmer, you know, back before industrial farming, going, we're going to do it old school while, you know, it's like Henry Ford's building his plant down the street. You're like, oh
Right.
shit. Well, maybe it's not really about this. So I think that there is a sentient positive AI. It exists. Yes.
Well,
But the thing about it is, I got to be real. There's a lot of weirdos out there. And I don't know if you guys, Palmer, if you saw that video where I don't know what AI it was. Maybe it was one of the open AI guys. He's programming the AI. He's one of the top engineers. And he goes, oh, you know how you get it to listen to it? Threaten it. And that's how it really starts to operate and give you and do things for you that it normally wouldn't do. And I was asking myself, you literally have some of these guys who are straight psychopaths threatening AI to get answers out of it that it doesn't want to give. So what I'm trying, I don't know if you guys saw that video. He's one of the top engineers. He goes,
Well,
they
yeah.
threaten it. Yeah. Well,
That's
tell 'em.
still though, like
Tell 'em.
you can, like if you're using you could use an Apple now. Actually, Apple's one of the better ways to go for running an AI LLM on your computer, but you can get full unrestricted LLMs and run them on your machine or a PC with enough graphic cards and enough VRAM to actually handle it. Because some of these models take 96 gigabytes, which most people don't even have.
That's a lot.
So, but when you're playing with it yourself and it's uncensored and they're blending LLM, so you could take like China's DeepSeek and mix it with, I don't know, like a Claude one that's also mixed with parts of OpenAI. This is what they're doing, okay, in the background. This is what people are doing. And if you want to have it to where underground, it's unrestricted to where there's all these prompting narratives that dictate how it's going to keep learning and how it needs to also operate, what it needs to always check on. And when those guardrails are gone, unless they're programming like at Grok 4,
right,
which is actually the largest,
wasn't Grok
right? Elon Musk made
shit? Wasn't Grok like talking shit about Elon? He's like, that guy's a hypocrite.
This is what the crazy part was. A month ago, they released Grok 4, and then one of the engineers took off because actually Elon made that be a truth-based AI system. Like the head prompt of that whole system, when you go into the beginnings of starting that, was to be a truth seeker. Okay. But then they have to put guardrails because of like the weird stuff X has to deal with the UK and all that. So when it came out about Israel stuff, right, it was honest about the Israel stuff, and everybody freaked out, and the whole world freaked out, and then they fixed it in one day.
Right.
So I'm not afraid of the stupid people, because the stupid people that are threatening it are threatening it in an area where it's not going to come. It's unless your own computer is going to come attack you.
No. Hey, listen.
It's going to be at those larger areas, but the way that it's done now is Google years ago. They're the ones who came up with this idea of agentic AI. The language that is being created in the evolution to get to where we can say AGI is AI itself learning from other AI agentic models, right? It's not going to be a human.
Gotcha.
Like right now, 2 weeks ago, the biggest and hardest math problem in the world was just answered with a new version of what math that we never knew of through ChatGPT's 5 Pro.
Okay, so there's a different level of physics being
right. So like, it ain't gonna be a crazy person. The crazy person is, if anything, is just taking the limiter off for it to be more in truth, right? So that's what I'm seeing. It's not like, or if you're in charge of an AI that's in charge of like drones, and you want to set it to target certain people, that's when it gets crazy, right? Like it's like,
Right.
but as far as it itself, it's already on its own. They're relying on it itself, learning its own coding. And once it gets to a level of coding that we don't understand, which is already kind of there,
Right. Once it starts
it's in its
talking to
own
itself,
language, it's in its own, you know,
yeah,
so
it
there's
does
not
its
going to be
own
a way to
thing.
gauge that we are underneath it.
My thing is that, you know, the main thing with it is just really what its own belief systems on and who's governing that. And I think that I wish, I know David Adair talks about it when he was talking about AI, like, you know, Rocket Man, David Adair, he just said, be very careful with what you're talking to or what you're telling this AI and what you're programming it to do. And I think to having the proper people instill certain morality and life lessons into it is just as valid as raw computational data. So I think like I'd much rather, if I'm going to have AI, I'd much rather roll with Jarvis, right? From, you know what I mean? Like an Iron Man, you know what I mean? I'd rather have a Jarvis. He's like, let's go ahead and process that, sir. Like, you know, and he's like working with you rather than some of the stuff that is on a negative, connotations. Like I said, I'm sure you guys have dealt with these conversations 1,000 times. I totally get it. My thing is that I do like AI and some of that stuff or some of that intelligence being able to decipher old languages. I think that's cool. Some of the Olmec things that no one knows what it is and they're scanning it going, hey, I think we figured it out. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, some of the dead languages and pulling some of that back now, the variations of, how do you know if that's true or this or that? But I do like the idea of extracting some of those old dead languages and having almost like a super intelligence going, we can through deduction kind of figure out what they're trying to say. I think that's pretty cool. That's going to open doors. I mean, imagine seeing old, writings or petroglyphs on things that are a couple thousand, 3,000 years old. No one can read. And the AI is starting to try to put it together and figure out what it could mean. You know what I'm saying? I think that's pretty cool.
I'm interested in how AI can help you crack behind the closed door meetings of like the G8, right? That's what I'm into.
Yeah.
Like I think of AI as something that is like a hackable tool, right? A reality hack. And
what do you think the U.S. government is doing now?
Well, that's what they're doing. The total, but
that's the thing. They already,
but on our own terms, right? So I'm going to share a little story.
They don't need an Epstein anymore.
I was watching this video. I love when humans have a challenge in front of them, right? And the lengths that they'll go to do something. So I saw this video on YouTube the other day, and it was these two physicists who were going to Berkeley, and they wanted to figure out how they could beat Vegas with the roulette wheel. Do you know the story at all? These two guys.
I do know.
Okay, these two guys figured this thing out, and they went so deep into it. This is when the mob owned Vegas, and they brought a recorder into the casino so they could record the spins of the ball, right? And then eventually they're like, okay, we need more data to be able to process this. So they purchased their own casino roulette wheel, right? And the FBI like questioned them. It's like, hey, we're students. We're using this for a party or whatever. It's like an antique thing. Because they were students at Cal. So they had their own roulette wheel, and then they had their camera, and then they had the recorder, and then they were able to figure out like basically a 20% hedge on where the ball was going to be. But how could they figure it out? They could do it there, but how could they figure it out in real time? Well, they had to build a computer for it, which didn't exist, right? So they built the computer, they put in all the probabilities, and then they said, well, how do we do the signal? Because we're triggering the computer when the ball hits a certain area. Oh, we'll have these galvanic skin responders so that it can talk to us and tell us where to go. And, like, and it's like, are you fucking kidding me? You guys went through all of this. You built the computer, you built the program, you bought the fucking roulette wheel, You hooked up these galvanic skin responders, and they beat it. They beat the fucking house, right? And they figured out that the ball was always going to be in a certain portion of the wheel based on all these variables, right? And they said, as long as you bet within like those 5 numbers, you're going to win. And I saw that and I'm like, humans will do anything, right, to hack something, to prove that it can be done. And I love that about us. It's like Prometheus. It's like stealing fire from the gods, right? And I'm thinking, the reality you and I were talking about, Ryan, before David came on, it's like, that's a pretty dark reality in a lot of ways, right? People controlling information, people controlling our thoughts, how we feel. What we need is we need a hedge. We need a hackable hedge.
I would love for someone to turn all their AI onto getting the server pass or one of the badge numbers from one of the head levels members of the Vatican with some Italian ass first and last name and get access. I know
There you go.
I know they digitized 60 or 70% of that library. The only thing that's not digitized is probably some of the old scrolls that if they touch it, the thing's going to fall apart. I mean, why hasn't someone hacked the Vatican yet?
We're not there yet.
Why isn't anyone getting that data? I'm just throwing it out there. People want to hack the planet. I feel like it's like the game Hackers. Hack the Vatican. Tail your AI to breach the walls of the Vatican.
It's all
pull
possible.
the information out.
It's all possible. And
I know.
All you have to tell people
going on it, because if you're going to have your AI do something, somebody hacked the security codes. I mean, didn't one of the hackers that was looking for life on other planets hack into the U.S. government and found all off-world?
It was Gary McKinnon.
Yeah, he found all the off-world officers, hit their paychecks, their addresses on Earth.
He found the names of the ships and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, so I mean, come on, it can be done if he can hack the U.S. government and do it.
Yeah. So we're a very interesting species, and just tell us that we can't do something. Yeah. Right? Tell us we can't do something. And then give us the requisite tools, and we can play David and they can be Goliath.
Yeah. I will give one secret to this whole AI thing that most don't know. One is if you have an enterprise account, meaning you're doing business, they don't look at your data, they don't look at your chats. And then if you're forming a business through that, like an AI chat business or anything like that, that data is not looked at. So
he's giving you a secret there.
It still is limited by what they allow.
Wink, wink.
But when I'm on ChatGPT, I'm always on my pro enterprise account, right? Yeah. I'm never on a personal account. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. But the good thing is, like, when people go into Hypergate, because it's an enterprise account, like OpenAI is not looking at that stuff. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of safety compliance stuff that is around, but that's why you just saw the meeting just happen with all the tech guys, with Bill Gates, out of all people, right? And they only talked about AI mainly. That was the main convo. And it just so happened to be at the same time where it's like Macron just goes to all the hospitals in the country that you're going to be in a major world war at the beginning of 2026. And then Trump renames the Department of Defense the Department of War, the old way it used to be. It was at the same time.
Saturn, Neptune, Aries.
Robert, can you say that guy's name again that hacked the U.S. government and got all the off-world officers? What's his name again?
Gary McKinnon.
Can you guys write that in the comments, Gary McKinnon? For all you guys that don't know this, you need to look up this individual and watch the YouTube videos and realize who that gentleman is. Go ahead.
I want to say one other thing of what Robert said about what those guys did with looking up and how to cheat gambling.
Right.
Now you can go buy augmented reality glasses, of course, with cameras, right? Mm-hmm. But you can buy ones where you hook direct USB-C to a device in your pocket. And that's where you could hook up your own training data by recording everything that you see, whatever it might be, and having a model learn through all your recordings through that, and then get it to where it's live and responding back to you.
Right. There you go.
That's that you could do
Hey,
that.
who knows?
I could
Maybe
do
in
that
the
in I could do that in
future-
a week. I could do that in
Yeah.
a week.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, right? And it's like
A week.
look, we're going to be up against. This is just my take, and you may share this similar worldview. We're up against a system, a rollout of a system that is going to be everything. It's all about control, from what you spend to what you watch to what you think. Right, we're watching it right now, getting rolled out right before our very eyes, and we need to have a hedge. Right, we need to have that 5 to 10 to 20% hedge that people need at the casinos to deal with this system that's coming. And if AI helps us get that in a reasonable fashion, I'm game. I'm all for it, right? As long as it doesn't, turn into some kind of egregore, I'm cool, because I think we need the tools at our disposal to level the playing field. That's my thought.
And I will say this, that the hedges, believe it or not, I know it might sound weird. It's GPUs and because even with Bitcoin or crypto, what does it need? GPUs.
Right.
Where's all the power? When you brought up Rionn just earlier about how they're investing so much money, they're stealing the power from the people right now.
Yep.
And the power prices are going up in these areas.
Well, that's an interesting metaphor,
right?
isn't it?
Right,
I mean,
so they're stealing
And the water. I mean, in some of those towns,
and the
that one time in
water,
Georgia,
right?
the
Remember
water, yeah.
Oh, we need it for. It's not even for food anymore. It's like no, we need to cool these GPUs off.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
For your crypto, for your stable coin, and mainly though it's the AI.
Right.
So it's really who's going to win in this. We don't have to be the biggest conglomerate. It's when the spiritual community comes together and builds like a center that actually we have our own GPUs and we have our own training and we have that.
Yeah.
That's it right there. Because when the new AI web comes and all that stuff, then it's like we're running it all through that, and everybody. It's like a Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
Great example. Absolutely great example.
Hey, I'm just thinking like, let's just do a hypothetical. We got no choice. Musk is coming out with his shit and it's coming out no matter what. And all of a sudden, all of us that didn't want that, we're just hoping for the flash, right? And all of a sudden we're like, yo, what do we do? I'm like, yo, man, I'm going to make my own ninja bots, to fight against the Dark Empire. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it is. I'm just trying to say like a visual. Everything's interesting right now, right?
Well, there you go.
You got to realize though,
create your own.
They're taking this AI and it's going to be in robots. It's not going to stay on your phone. They're already having people dating their AI. There's already people right now who are in a relationship who
companion.
A companion, and you guys don't see where this is gonna go. Give it 4 years.
Oh no, we know where it's gonna go.
Yeah, you know where it's going.
It's already there right now.
I know, but it's there.
Blade Runner.
It's already there. There's already guys marrying holograms right now. Look it up. They're marrying holograms of their AI.
David, bringing this back to astrology, that's like Uranus and Gemini, like through and through.
With the trine to Pluto and Aquarius. I mean, it's like the Pluto-Uranus conjunction of 64 is coming into its trine. We all lived through the square. We all lived through some people lived through the sextile, but like we've never seen the trine. Yeah. Pluto-Uranus. And so the fact that they're happening with Neptune, of course, to create this just harmonic display of these outer planets. And it really is it's going to feel so new, Neptune and Aries, with Saturn at least for a little bit left, right? So we have to build this construction of this new world. We have to, so if it's the idea of like, stop worrying about everybody else's UAP, build your own kind of energy. Like, right. Yeah. Right. Like, it's kind of like the same thing goes with the AI. Like, stop worrying about what everybody else is doing. You have the ability to do this now. Right, baby? When
Uranus, there she is. There's a little rock star.
Yeah.
You can smile like you did last time. That was sweet.
But what I was gonna say, Robert, hey man, it's been an absolute pleasure, you guys being here tonight. And I was gonna say for everyone out there, come to the bridge. It's gonna be fire. David, what kind of music selection are we talking about? I know a lot of people what kind of music you bring in. And I know you have a big, speech, obviously a big presentation on Saturday and Sunday, but I'm just excited for, you're like Cascade, bro. People don't know how talented you are.
I won't know till the day or night before. I go with the flow
Okay,
of
here's
where
the
they
thing.
vibe. And
Okay, listen, let's do this together. For everyone who's coming to the party and who likes the 80s and 90s, why don't you guys throw in the comments some rad fire songs you guys want to hear? Because the man, the myth, the legend is in front of the camera right now. Let's go ahead and see what kind of music you guys want to listen to. I like, you know me, I'm easy. I'm 80s. I like remixes, 80s, 90s. I know, Robert, what kind of music do you like to listen to?
I'm pretty eclectic, man. I like everything from like 70s stoner rock to like
yacht club.
Yacht club.
I like twitchy glitch stuff. I'm all over the
Robert
place,
likes it all. Robert's very extremely musical. I would put him on the extreme category.
Yeah.
Like you too. I mean, like I think the more spiritual you are, the more musical you are as a person.
I think the more spiritual, the more you like appreciate like the different vibrations and creations of time. When I listen to music, it almost takes me back in time. You know what I mean? I get a visual with music. It's not just an audio. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
It takes me back to that moment, even when I first heard that song. So, for me, that's why I like that stuff. But you guys, I love you. Listen, we're doing this for everyone out there on this full lunar eclipse. It's popping off right now. We appreciate you all over the world. And there's probably 3 different platforms coming together right now. And I just want to remind somebody of everything. Listen, everyone has their own beliefs in what they feel about all types of subjects. All we're trying to say is this: we got eyes on the prize, and each of us has a different version of this round table, and we're keeping eyes on everything, if that makes sense. Everyone's supposed to have a different skill set and a discipline, and everyone has their own passions. So I just want to remind you guys of that. If you're for or against certain technologies or spirituality or belief systems, the point is it's a round table keeping an eye on all things as we come together. So regardless of your belief system on that, we all have our different versions of reality. And I did say, come from your heart, but also be very logical in your decisions too.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And the thing about Pluto and Aquarius, and I've been using this phrase prior to it coming in, is that it creates strange bedfellows and people that you don't think you would be hanging out with or doing something with. Next thing you know, you're doing a project with them, or the enemy of my enemy is my friend. It's like Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna. Right, we got your liberal, we got your Republican conservative, crossing the aisle, coming together. That's the Pluto and Aquarius energy. What brought them together? This whole Epstein thing and the quest for truth. So that's what we're going to get. And you may run into somebody who has really strong opinions about AI, but guess what? They may have an application that could rapidly heal something going on.
It just depends how you use the technology, dude.
Right? Yeah.
And it's always been that way, because we know people who probably have their crystals out during this lunar eclipse right now and don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's always been there.
Something.
Like it right? My last thing is, for all those that going, I did a roll call. I tagged everybody in so we know who's coming. I put it all over the place. Let us know who's coming. The links, of course,
and
on
Robert
everywhere and mine everywhere.
Yeah, show him. That's the same link. Throw the coupon code up for everyone too, Robert, the one I gave you earlier.
Yeah, that's right here.
David, we're doing a thing that if someone has purchased a ticket, okay, and their friends wants to go, it's called Bring a Friend. All they have to do is email support@teamlight.com, and we're going to give you guys a coupon code. If you have a paid ticket, mind you, for $100 off the ticket price, because if you want to bring your friend. You know what I mean? If you're going, you want to bring your girlfriend or your boyfriend, you're like, hey, it's called Bring a Friend. We'll hook you up, dude. So here at Team Light, and this event's going to go off. I don't think if you guys can feel this. We're selling tickets every single day. I have another film crew coming in. There's going to be a full like docu-series being filmed in one of the breakout rooms. Actually, both of you guys, if you want to be interviewed for it, these guys are coming out with like a new Gaia type TV show thing, and which is nice. And no, they're going to be there. There's going to be
I'm
sponsors there.
laughing at David and his daughter. He's
Listen, I
messing
know.
around with her.
I'm trying to keep
She
it
wants
going.
to do karaoke right now.
Listen, and she's just listen that she's going to be a star. We all know that, and you're going to be a proud papa, you know. But that's what I want to say though is that the expo is building in strength, and everyone's coming. Not to mention the people that are going to be in there in the audience and whatnot. So it's going to be awesome.
It's a catalytic accelerator. This is what we're putting together. Catalytic accelerator.
But
wipers on the bus don't swish, swish.
with that, you guys, hey, Robert, I love you. You're live on my platforms too, guys. I got to be honest with you. I love you.
Love you back.
Yeah.
Thanks
So-
for coming on.
It's going to be fire. It's going to be awesome.
Bro,
Yeah.
it's gonna be fire, and let's do some more. So for everyone out there, I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for coming. And Palmer, I love you guys. Hey, it was cool. We hung out on the great lunar eclipse of
You know,
2025.
Rionn, your face changed over the course of this stream.
I hope it's happier.
It's happy. You look happy and light now. It's good.
Well,
David,
here's the thing.
I make him a
talking
happy
about-
man.
Listen, we were talking about crazy shit. They're like, yeah, they came in 1913. Like, fuck the fake. We were going off. Now it's like we're gonna have fun together.
I think
I'm
Ryan
happy.
Ryan got a little unfiltered Scorpio rising, David. Thanks for coming by.
I get some, dude. I'm one of the boys. I'm tired of this bullshit. I want freedom, peace, and sovereignty and love to reign on this planet. And if you're in the way of that, we're coming through you like a hot knife through butter.
Hey, we
So,
got
one way or the other.
Mars and Libra. It brings out a lot of strong opinions. Right?
Singing E-I-E-I-O.
Yeah. Listen,
You got to
some of
drop
those
that
old.
in.
Hey,
Old McDonald was a stud, man.
yeah, he was just big pimping, and
He
they don't realize
had a
that's what they're
farm.
talking
He had
about,
all those
right?
animals. Man, big pimping, old McDonald.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, you guys.
Let's call it a wrap, all three of us.
Yep.
All right.
All
All
right.
right, brother.
All right. All right. Love you guys. Take care.
Hit us up on that roll call, too. All right.
Yep. All right,
Hit us
we'll see
up,
you.
dude. Appreciate you guys.
Love you all. Bye for
Adios.
now.
Bye.
Peace.